Previously on the Data Factory.
The basics of database and SQL Server. Types of databases. Let's cover the basics of SQL Server. Let's have a look inside a typical SQL Server. So with that, the installation is complete.
Hi. In the earlier session, while installing SQL Server, you might have noticed that while setting the name of the instance, we had one as the default one, wherein we didn't provide any name, and the other one was a named instance. Now, here we are just comparing both of them. Uh, in the case of default instance, we saw that the name itself shows up as MS SQL Server. In case of named instance, it's absolutely whatever we define it to be. The server name in case of default instance is the computer name, and in case of the named instance, it's either the computer name or the user defined. Now, port for communication for the default instance is 1433, and for the named, it's defined by the operating system. The maximum number of databases per instance is same for both. That's 32,767. Max number of installations or instances that will have, or that will rather be the default instance is 1 and 1 only. But when it comes to the named instance, we can have up to 50 of them. So what are the applications across both, right? So your default instance is used generally for production purposes, and the named one is used for development and testing environments. During the installation process, we had also come across service accounts, and authentication. Now, what is a service account? It is basically any valid identity that is created to enable usage of components that are available within SQL Server. Now, this allows every service to independently perform tasks and actions irrespective of who the user is. Essentially, it is the identity of the service that is running within your SQL Server. Now, coming to the service, it is a set of processes that manages SQL Server operations and allows seamless interaction with the operating system. Moving on to authentication. Now, when we talk about creating a login and creating a user, both are very different set of entities treated when it comes to the server and the database. So the login authentication sits at the top. What do we mean by that? A login grants the principal entry into the server. Next, what comes is the database authorization. So the authorization is usually done for a database and multiple databases, because those are separate realms when compared to your server. Hence, we see the word users, since users are granted access to databases, and multiple users can have or use the same login.